Hello and welcome to Myanmar Today. I am Henry Zin with the latest news and reports from around Myanmar. Dora Swezin brings us the first report on reducing the amount of waste in Yangon. Loom has a report on IRI's Public Opinion Survey Myanmar. Then again, Loom covered the story on Wine Expo Myanmar 2019. Agajo reports on 50% Myanmar aquarium fish that are at risk. Before we get to the reports, let's check on some local news. The government of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar and the government of the Kingdom of Thailand signed an agreement on the management, maintenance and use of the second Myanmar-Thai Friendship Bridge at the Ministry of Construction in Naypyidaw on Wednesday. Union Minister for Construction U Han-zaw said the bridge would be much beneficial for not only Myanmar and Thailand, but also other regional countries as it is located on the trade route of Myanmar's Myawaddy and Thailand's Mae Sot, as well as on the east-west economic corridor that crosses Da Nang City in Vietnam and Molamyai City in Myanmar. Union Minister for Natural Resources and Environmental Conservation U Oh-win received a delegation led by Finland's Under-Secretary of State for External Economic Relations on Wednesday. The officials exchanged views on technical support for water distribution, purification and treatment, possible cooperation on generating energy from waste, a strategic plan for waste management and its implementations, cooperation on overseeing industrial and other wastes to ensure they meet set standards, manufacturing solar panels, producing pulp from eucalyptus trees and other fast-growing plants, producing biomass from agriculture and forests, establishing forest plantations managed by a region, and the implementation process of the 10-year reforestation strategy. Yangon Region Minister for Kayeen Ethnic Affairs and the Vice Chairperson of the Regional Tourism Committee, Nopan Tinzamyo, said tourist police will verify whether tourists are hiring local tour guides or not. She said, quote, "Local guides are not getting jobs as tourists are only using guides from their own country. Therefore, to resolve the issue, there is a need to keep a check on this at the entry gates." She also said, if the tourist police find the policy is being disobeyed, the local agent who tied up with the tour company will face legal action. And that's all with the local news, and we're moving on to our first report. Yangon is struggling with the increasing amount of waste deposited at landfill sites. Because of the lack of waste segregation practice and overuse of plastic, more waste has been produced and the landfill area is getting narrower. Our reporter Dora Swezin reports on the matter.
One of the waste problems Yangon is facing is the increasing amount of waste. Responsible organizations and NGOs are struggling to make the citizens aware of reducing the amount of waste produced.
I think the biggest challenge of Yangon is the lack of education, in the sense to understand the value of the waste. And by education I mean not a degree or a master or have all these diplomas. It seems from very little understand the value of each item of waste that you have in your houses. We believe that reducing is the call for the waste in Yangon. Reusing is the next step, and only recycling. And so recycling should come on the last of the opportunity of anything that we buy in our hands. If we can use it as much as we can, if we can reuse it, it's still good for you.
To educate the citizens in reducing waste, many campaigns have been conducted by NGOs and governmental organizations. The celebrities became interested in waste problems and joined to help knowledge spreading. Actress Amiatu is one of those celebrities who are active in participation for solving the waste problems.
I
have participated in the backstreet cleansing projects led by DOA. I am interested in how to reduce the waste. As I am a citizen living in Yangon since I was born, I have witnessed the increase of waste in the city, and I want to participate in the problem solving of reducing waste. We have to consider how to reduce the waste. For example, we can use reusable bottles instead of plastic bottles. I got this habit when I filmed the travel program. If you're difficult to reuse it, you can reduce it. It's true that we can stop using plastic, so we can reduce in many ways, such as using reusable bottles or bring reusable bags when you go to the market.
People are using the plastic even when it is not necessary to use it. For example, the more plastic bags are used in markets, especially those at the shopping malls.
I think we as a citizens, we as a consumers can change that. We have a lot of power toward those marketplaces. We can say no to the plastics. We can teach them. We can teach the business how to be better by just showing an example and being the example. So the truth is, when you go and buy vegetables in the market, 10 years ago, most likely you wouldn't get your vegetables inside a plastic bag. And now it seems that everyone puts inside a plastic bag. But why? You could use a reusable bag. You could use a cloth bag that you can reuse as many times as you want. So I think we as a customers, we as stakeholders of this city can do that. And I think everyone, if do a little bit, I think we can bit by bit help the entire society and get a change on the consumers' behaviors and how business look at these issues as well.
Because of the lack of the practice of waste segregation, it reduces the numbers of recyclable items and more waste is deposited on the landfill. Moreover, about 70% of the total waste is the organic waste, and most of the organic waste is deposited on the landfill because people have no idea of recycling it. Actually, the organic waste can be made into soil if it is not mixed with other waste such as plastic.
The segregation of trash is to see the value, and the food waste, for us it's gold, black gold basically, because you can make soil. So everything that comes from nature can be used to make soil. That means we don't want plastic, we don't want metal, we don't want glass. That's another problem. But by segregating, what happens is that the other waste, the recyclables, become very dry and clean, and therefore their value is also increased. And this is important. So I know it's a complete new change in mindset to think about food waste and other waste. It's not wet and dry, it's food waste. And from the food waste we can make soil.
Both the practices of reducing the non-recyclable waste and segregating the waste are important to apply to reduce the amount of waste deposited on the landfill. That's all for now. This is Dora Susan from MI Radio.
That's a report on reducing the amount of waste in Yangon. Alright, we'll move on to weather forecast now. In Yangon, there's going to be intervals of clouds and sunshine with a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon, and it will just be partly cloudy at night. The daily outlook is around 33 degrees Celsius high, but it's going to feel like 40 degrees Celsius. There's about 40% chance of rain for the day. In Naypyidaw, there's going to be mostly cloudy with a thunderstorm around in the afternoon, and there'll be considerable clouds with a shower or thunderstorm around at night. The daily outlook is around 32 degrees Celsius high, but it's going to feel like 39 degrees Celsius. There's about 40% chance of rain for the day. In Mandalay, it's going to be rather cloudy with a thunderstorm in parts of the area in the afternoon, but it'll be partly to mostly cloudy with widely separated thunderstorms late at night. The daily outlook is around 33 degrees Celsius high, but it's going to feel like 38 degrees Celsius. There's about 51% chance of rain for the day. Stay with us, we have another report coming from Loom, and then we'll check on the stocks and currency exchange rates. International Republican Institute's IRI Center for Insights in Survey Research did a new nationwide poll called Public Opinion Survey Myanmar. According to the statistics collected by IRI, the public is happy with the current situation of political reforms and the direction the country is heading, but the public is worried about the illicit use of drugs among the people. Loom reports.
Hi, this is Loom. International Republican Institute's IRI Center for Insights in Survey Research did a new nationwide poll called Public Opinion Survey Myanmar. The data was collected between June 19 and July 14, 2019, with the collaboration with Myanmar Survey Research. The public opinion survey showed that public satisfaction with Myanmar's current direction and support for further political reform, but heightened concerns over illicit drug use, the cost of living and crime. Now, Senior Director of International Republican Institute's IRI Center, Ms. Sonyi Glucose, explained more about the public opinion survey research.
Absolutely. Today is the day where we launched our 2019 public opinion poll of Myanmar. This is the third one that IRI has conducted in the country. The first one was conducted in 2014, the next one in 2017, and this one was conducted this June and July, so the data is actually fairly fresh.
According to the survey, 77% of respondents felt that the country is headed to the right direction. 75% felt the same in IRI's April 2017 report and 88% from February 2014.
Some of the highlights of the findings that struck out to us is the very high level of optimism that we see amongst the adult population of Myanmar. 77% think the country is going in the right direction, which is very high if you look at it on an international level. Other issues that struck me as very interesting was that the country is united. When we asked all the different states and regions what the biggest, most serious problem was, it was illicit drugs. So oftentimes we see more regional differences in terms of serious problems.
The poll showed strong public support for continuous political reform. A combined 80% of respondents strong support with 43%, or somewhat support with 37%, making it easier to amend the country's constitution. A combined 51% support state and regions having more control over their natural resources. U Min-zin, Executive Director, Institute for Strategy and Policy Myanmar, said during the survey launching ceremony on October 1st at Melia Hotel Yangon.
This kind of public opinion survey has helped the country for the betterment in every corner. I would like to congratulate everyone who has put great efforts into this survey. It was really great to know that 77% of respondents felt that the country is headed in the right direction.
With regard to the survey finding, Dorset Nanro, Director of Policy and Strategy, Nying Foundation, who's got a lot of experiences working with local community in Myanmar, especially Kachin State, also expressed that.
What attracts me most about the survey is what has been mentioned in the page number 18. What is about the correction? The question was, in the past 12 months, how often have you to do a favor, give a gift, or pay a bribe? The answer was that 95% say not at all, 4% say less frequently, and 1% say monthly. But we need to understand the giver and the receiver. We do not emphasize more on the giver side when we talk about correction.
So this was a nationally representative survey, which means that every person who was part of the universe, in this case the universe is the adult population of Myanmar, had an equal chance of being selected or interviewed for the survey. However, I should say that due to ongoing conflict, certain areas of Chin, Rakhine and Shan states were excluded. That concerns a few townships in those areas, and that ended up to 1 million people. 1 million people out of 33 million who are aged 18 and older didn't have a chance of being selected for the survey.
That's a report on IRI's Public Opinion Survey, Myanmar. And here we have the information on currency rates from Myanmar Central Bank. $1 is at 1,534 kyats. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 214 kyats. 1 euro is at 1,673 kyats. 1 pound sterling is at 1,876 kyats. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,106 kyats. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 365 kyats. 1 Thai baht is at 50 kyats, and the Indian rupee is at 21 kyats. Gold is trading at $1,499. Silver is at $17, and Brent crude oil is at $52. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI went up 500 at 12,000. MTSH remains at 4,000. MCB remains at 8,300. FPB remains at 23,500. TMH remains at 3,000. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. You can visit our website at miradio.com.mm and listen to our radio programs live on the website. We're also running on FM 96.1 in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. Or you can simply download MI Radio app on your smart devices so you can listen to our radio programs on the go. And we have more reports for you, so let's check out the next one. The Wine Expo Myanmar 2019 took place in Yangon for 2 days on September 26th and 27th. Our reporter Loom went to the event, so let's see if he brought any tasty news for us.
Hi, I am Loom. Why can actually connect people to the rest of the world? It is quite true, which is why the very first ever Wine Expo Myanmar successfully kicked off in Yangon. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the Wine Expo Myanmar 2019, Mr. Sean Lee, Managing Director of Asia Expo Services Limited, as well as Project Director of Wine Expo Myanmar, explained.
My name is Sean. I'm the founder of Wine Expo Myanmar. I thank everyone for those who have traveled a long distance, especially our friends from Italy and from Spain, Australia, to take part in this event. This is an industry where we make a lot of friends from all over the world with product that is a social lubricant, which will facilitate the exchange of culture and ideas. I'm sure most of you will bring something back from this event, a new friendship perhaps, and maybe even a business partnership. Of course, please experience the beautiful experience of this country, Myanmar.
With the aim connecting Myanmar to the rest of the world, more than 200 brands of wine were showcased in a wine showcase from major wine producing countries such as France, Italy, USA, Chile, Australia, New Zealand, Portugal, and China. Following the Wine Expo Myanmar, not only wine products, but the Myanmar food and other foods and beverages were presented. Now let's hear what Ambassador of Italy to Myanmar, Ms. Alessandra Schiavo, has to say.
Myanmar will also gain an important place at the core of the Asian wine market. Myanmar has all the potential to play a very important role in the progress of this region, and Italy is willing to contribute to this trend and support it, also in the wine sector. As for the Italian wine exports to Myanmar, they are currently doing quite well, but they are much below the potential for obvious historical reasons. Now that Myanmar is getting more and more open to the rest of the world, we, not only Italians, we have to engage more and more in this economy and commit ourselves to strengthen our bilateral ties.
Following the expos, different kinds of activities taken place. One of them is the seminar. So now let's take a few glimpses of the seminar conducted at the following expo.
Myanmar wine and also international wine. So I think Lynn from Wolf, she's preparing some, at the conference, she's preparing some food, Myanmar food and wine pairing. So I encourage you all to have a very open mind and to try the Shankw's Way with Itaya, for example. Okay.
Following the Wine Expo, not only wine products, but the variety of Myanmar foods were introduced to the visitor from both local and international. And I even talked to one of the ladies coming all the way from Italy.
This is Sauvignon Blanc. It's very famous wine. We win the silver medal and the gold medal about this wine. It's a fruity and aromatic wine, and our vineyards are very good for this wine because during the day there is warm, and during the night there is a cold. So there is a very good combination for the land. This is matched very well with spice food, with very spicy food. So I think with the food that there is here and is very wonderful.
Alright, I am Loon reporting for Myanmar Radio.
That's a report on Wine Expo Myanmar 2019. Well, here's the last report on 50% of Myanmar aquarium fish that are at risk. 50% of Myanmar pet fish are at risk of extinction. MI Radio interviewed entrepreneurs and experts on the pet fish business and the threat they are facing at the 6th International Exhibition and Conference on Agriculture, Livestock, Aquaculture and Fisheries Industry. Let's hear the report.
Myanmar Ornamental Fish Entrepreneurs Association told MI Radio that about 50% of the pet fish in Myanmar are at risk of extinction. The spokesperson from the association said that at the 6th International Exhibition and Conference on Agriculture, Livestock, Aquaculture and Fisheries Industry, the exhibition kicked off at Rose Garden Hotel on Thursday and is set to run till Saturday. MI Radio interviewed the entrepreneurs and experts for more on the pet fish business and the threat they're facing. Joint Secretary 1 of Myanmar Ornamental Fish Entrepreneurs Association, U Kim Ma'u, explained.
Myanmar is home to 1,468 species of fish, of which 40% can be exported as pet fish and half of the pet fish are threatened by extinction. And the foreign customers like the fish which are caught naturally. Some people here eat the fish species which are kept as pet in foreign countries. Malaysia, Singapore and Thailand are major exporters of Myanmar pet fish.
Myanmar Ornamental Fish Entrepreneurs Association operates under the Myanmar Fisheries Federation in 2007 with 300 individual members. It is noted that foreign customers usually buy freshwater fish from habitats like Ayeyarwady, Indoji and Inle Lake, and they are also interested in aquatic plants and stones used in aquarium. For more on the income the pet fish industry is generating, the expert Umyateng explained.
In Myanmar, the pet fish is not valued that much, like there are pet fish living in drain and in the paddy field. We take the scientific name to them and export. Other countries, for example, Singapore generates $60 million to $90 million. Myanmar generates barely $1 million. This is just for export. And there are not many companies doing this. Now it's only a handful of companies. What I suggest is we need to help each other and share knowledge as few people know scientific names and so on.
Of about 1,500 fish species in Myanmar, 76 species are identified as aquarium fish. It is also learned that there are about 100 pet fish farming businesses in Myanmar. However, the quality of the production and the farming need to be improved. It is noted that visitors cannot visit the fish ponds like the ones in other countries, as the local pet fish businesses still need to improve the hygiene and standard to receive the visitors. Majority of the pet fish on the market are freshwater fish. Fisheries are already an important export sector since fish is second to rice in its contribution to the Myanmar diet and may be the most important source of the protein for the people of Myanmar. Given the country's long coastline that offers considerable potential, the sector contributes over $300 million per year to Myanmar's positive foreign trade balance. For more on the exhibition, Go Pomyat, the organizer of the event, explained.
Myanmar Livestock Federation.
The International Exhibition and Conference on Agriculture, Livestock and aqua fisheries in Myanmar was established to bring a connecting bridge for Myanmar and international enterprises in the agriculture, livestock and aquaculture industry to forge linkages and expand business. The sixth edition continues attracting much attention from quality local and overseas participants, promising the best trade platform for industry players and potential buyers to exchange ideas and find business opportunities in the industries. The exhibition includes 3 significant events.
This is Agajo reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
Well, that's all the reports we have for today. Next, we'll look at some international news. People joined unauthorized protest assemblies in #Hong Kong on Tuesday, with some turned into riots. Public properties were damaged and traffic was blocked. Mobs threw petrol bombs and corrosive liquids at police offices and caused havoc around government buildings. Some bystanders were also attacked and seriously injured. Police confirmed an officer fired a shot that hit an 18-year-old protester in a riot on Tuesday. Video footage shows the young man tried to hit the officer as crowds attacked several other officers. Police said the officer was justified for opening fire after warnings because he was trying to protect his colleague who was pinned down by rioters. The injured man is in stable condition in a local hospital. At least 30 police officers were injured during Tuesday's unrest. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. From me and the team, that's it for now. Thanks for joining me.